Fosforito, whose real name was Antonio Fernández Díaz, passed away on 13 November 2025 at the age of 93. Cause of death: he died in the hospital in Malaga following complications from a heart surgery, specifically an infection that developed after the procedure. From the dusty streets of Puente Genil, a small town in Córdoba, Spain, emerged a voice that would define an era of flamenco. A voice filled with pain, passion, and pride. This is the story of Fosforito Antonio Fernández Díaz, one of the most respected flamenco singers in history. But even in hardship, there was music. Flamenco, the sound of the soul of Andalusia, echoed in taverns and courtyards. As a child, Antonio would listen to the old cantaores, memorizing their styles and rhythms. By the time he was a teenager, his gift was undeniable. He began performing locally, earning his nickname Fosforito, meaning little matchstick, either for his thin build or the fiery intensity of his performances. In 1956, at just 24 years old, Fosforito achieved something no one else had ever done in flamenco history. At the Córdoba National Flamenco Competition, he won every prize available: the Lámpara Minera, Premio de Honor, Premio de Sayeres, all of them. It was a clean sweep that made him an instant legend. His voice was deep, raw, yet beautifully controlled. Critics described it as a perfect balance between tradition and emotion. Fosforito wasn't just a performer, he was a scholar of flamenco. He studied ancient songs, preserved forgotten styles, and gave them new life. Fosforito sang not for fame, but for truth. Every verse was a story, every note a memory. During the 1,960 seconds and 70 seconds, Fosforito became a household name. He recorded dozens of albums, toured Spain and Latin America, and collaborated with legendary guitarists like Paco de Lucia and Juan Habichuela. But fame never changed him. He lived modestly in Malaga, dedicating his life to teaching young artists and preserving the art of Cante Jondo, the deep song of Andalusia. His performances were not about spectacle. There were no fancy lights or pyrotechnics, just a voice, a guitar, and silence. Because for Fosforito, flamenco was sacred. Outside the stage, Fosforito lived a quiet and humble life. He married, raised a family, and remained deeply connected to his hometown. He often said that true happiness was in the simple things: good friends, a glass of wine, and a night of Cante among loved ones. Despite his fame, he avoided luxury. He was known to greet everyone warmly, from fellow artists to fans on the street. His humility became part of his legend. Though Fosforito never pursued wealth, his career brought him recognition and financial stability. By the 2000s, his estimated net worth ranged between $1 million and $3 million, primarily from music royalties, live performances, and cultural honors. He received Spain's highest artistic distinctions, the Gold Medal for Merit in Fine Arts, the Premio Nacional de Cante Flamenco, and was even named Hijo Predilecto de Andalusia, favorite son of Andalusia. Yet when asked about awards, Fosforito would smile and say, "The greatest prize is when people feel something in their hearts." In his later years, Fosforito's health began to decline, but his passion never faded. He continued to mentor young singers and attend festivals honoring his legacy. In November 2025, the flamenco world mourned deeply as news broke that Antonio Fernández Díaz Fosforito had passed away at age 93 inches Malaga after complications from heart surgery. An era had ended. But legends never truly die. His recordings, his teachings, and his spirit live on and just in every flamenco song sung today, and in every soul who feels the duende of Andalusia. Fosforito wasn't just a singer. He was the keeper of a culture, the voice of a people, and a bridge between the old Spain and the new. His life reminds us that greatness doesn't come from fame, but from truth, humility, and love for one's art. Antonio Fernández Díaz. Fosforito, 1932-2025. Gracias por el cante, maestro.